Are we going out live? Come on there. It's finally going. I think it started. If anyone's watching right now, which some of you are, then hello and welcome to Jakob live. It's been a kind of a stressful day for me today, and I again forgot that it was Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday because I always mix up my days. So I kind of had to hodgepodge everything. My table was absolutely full of stuff, so I had to reorganize everything again and reconnect stuff, and I'm a bit out of my loop. I just want to say hello and welcome to everyone. Someone asked me if I had a lot of fun watching The Expanse finale, and yeah, I did. And I'm afraid of talking about it because I've actually read the books, so I. I've literally been watching someone's interpretation of that when I'm watching the series, so I know what's gonna happen next. And so far, I must say that they followed the books really well, and they've chosen some really good characters for The Expanse. If it's a sci-fi series, I'm gonna stop talking about it, but I just want to say that a lot of the things that I imagine in my head was in the show. And because normally it's like this: you read a book and then you see a movie or something, and usually it's not as good because what you read in a book is based upon your own imagination, your own experiences, and what you think, and the voices you make up in your head. The only voice I didn't like was Amos's voice, but now I absolutely love the TV version of Amos for The Expanse because, yeah, I don't know, I just like him. He's insane and still he has a heart. It's in there, deep in there, and he's afraid of losing that bit. So he kind of surrounds himself with good people so he won't fall down a darker path. I like that, that struggle. Uh, Something I respect in people. I've met a lot of people like that in my life. So yeah, I'm not saying I know people who walk around killing everybody, but I think you know what I mean. So hello and welcome, Jamie, Sasha, Samuel, or Samuel, Timyan, and Uncle Tom, Russ. We got so many people in here. So nice. So, well, I know there's no pressure to make up a topic, and the topic for today was gonna be literally, let's just hang out. But then I remembered, like, what I've been doing this time is I've been working on trying to solve my sync issues, and I'm shaking the camera, I know. I need another stand for my camera because the way I've got it set up right now, this arm is not stable enough. So any little thing I do like this, it just makes the camera fly off the handle. So I need to solve that. But what I've been doing is trying to get a way of actually syncing stuff that needs sync signals, like modulars and tonics, the pocket operators, volcas, anything with a sync input that syncs to a 5-volt pulse, short pulse, basically to have that sync to iPad without having any weird intermediaries or anything like that. And what I've been doing is actually I've been using MiRack or MiRack or whatever you want to call it, because MiRack makes it very simple. It has several syncing modules already that sends out pulses. It even has an Ableton to sync module in there that you can just load into it and then sync everything to Ableton and send that out through an audio input. And on pocket operators, they take the sync input on the left channel, which is pretty cool actually. Bro, would still be great if Kai would correct the issue. Teddy Leopard pop-up windows being able to... No, Teddy Leopard, I talked to Kai, and here's the thing. It's not really an issue. You see, you get another issue when you solve that pop-up screen by having it go away. And I'm gonna make a video about that because there are several things that we've tried to solve and fix now, and things that I've asked Kai for, and when he explained to me what happens when we do something else happens. So that is still on my mind, and when I've realized just give me a week or something, and I'll have a good video on that, and you'll see why you might not even want that actually. But yeah, it's something we can do, and we are most likely going to put it in as an option, so you can turn it on or off in the settings. So it's not that we've taken it off the table. We're gonna implement it as a thing like that. I'm gonna go back to talking about what I've been doing here and how I'm syncing this right now, because right now is my MiRack is syncing up AUM and the pocket operator here, and it's very very simple. So on the side here, I have I want to see my own camera so I can see what I'm doing. But down here you can see a little card here. This is an audio hub, innovation audio hub 2x4, and it doesn't really matter the type of card you're having as long as you have multiple outputs. And it's because you want to send out your click signal on one of the channels. In this case, this one has 4 outputs, meaning I can use 2 of them for speakers, which I have right here, the MTMs. You can't see them right now, but I don't want to mess with the camera. And then you have the other 2 that you can use for anything else. And right now I'm using one of them, the left channel on the second pair, channel number 3. I'm using that right here in AUM, and I'm sending out the click pulse through MiRack. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play here and raise the volume, and then stop the session in AUM, and you'll see that this is actually working. Can you hear that all right? Just let me know if you can hear this all right. Okay, so if I press stop here, it's gonna wait, because right now I've got Ableton Link and everything else running, so it's running the cycle. As soon as the cycle ends, when I press stop, it's gonna stop. And it stops. And it stops. Okay, so the thing is that I don't have a reset or anything, and I don't know if I can set that up. So here's the thing, it completely syncs, but pocket operators have a timeline, so it stops at that point. So if I press play again, it's not going to start playing from the beginning. What I have to do is stop it, press play, and now it's going to play from the beginning, and it's going to start as soon as I press play, and it walks the cycle and gets to the end and then starts the whole session. So I'm going to press now, and there it goes. So it's synced to AUM with a click track pulse from MiRack. And it's so simple to do. And you know what's even cooler? You can have several, depending on how many channels you have on your sound card, you can port out several different speeds of this sync pulse. Because in MiRack, you have something called a clock divider, which means it halvens, or it divides the pulse speed several times over. And this clock divider here, as you can see, it has 8 outputs, and so the clock becomes slower and slower the further down the line you go. So right now I've got it set at the first one, meaning it's gonna send out the pulse as it's coming out from the clock right now. And what I have to do then is I can either switch the cables to one of the other outputs, or in this case what I've done is I've put in a switch. Okay, so right now you can see the white thing here on the side is a switch. So from all of the clock outputs, the different clock outputs, we have also 8 inputs here, and I've set this module, which is a, what is it called, 8-to-1 module from Bog Audio. Basically I can just select which of the tempos I want to do. So just listen to this, just listen to this. Clock is running, stop, play. I'm gonna switch the output to a slower one. Slower. And one trick is to run the AUM clock as high as you want it. So let's say you want to do a BPM session where you run a pocket operator beat at 120 BPMs, but you want other things to run faster. Well, one thing you could do is to set AUM to 240 BPMs, and then divide the clock and get the 120 BPMs out here, and you can run the other ones out through different outputs on your sound card. It's very cool. It's very cool. I love this, and I've got a sound card here from a allegedly shitty company. I'm gonna say allegedly to everything because I don't want to get sued by this allegedly shitty company and allegedly stupid company for doing things, for saying stuff about them. The sound card works, but I don't like the company. So it's got 8 outputs, and I've tried syncing up. What was it? I think I had 6 different pocket operators here running each on their individual clocks. And the cool thing with MiRack is it's modular. So if you want the BPM or anything to sway, you can use a sequencer as a clock device instead and have that be controlled by something else. You can control it with the clock of something else. There's so much you can do with your sync pulses, and suddenly your little click track sync pulse studio becomes this weird, very weird thing where you can make everything just sound weird because everything is running at very weird speeds. So the reason to why I'm getting into all of this is because after my interview with Heinbach, which I'm working on right now, which is why I forgot it was Wednesday and not Tuesday. I've been working on that video. Well, after listening to him, after going through so many of his videos, I've gotten this. I have this urge. I want to work with more modular stuff. That's for sure. I might not want to go all hardcore like Heinbach does and use actual lab equipment that wasn't even made for music purposes to do stuff. You're gonna love that video, by the way. Heinbach is such a real person. That guy is just keeping everything real. So likable, so sweet, so wonderful to listen to. You're gonna love that video. You can easily multiply the clock in MiRack too. Yeah, of course. I forgot about that. I was looking for a multiplier module, but I couldn't find it. Probably because I didn't see it, because I'm stressed when I go through things and I never look closely. But just this ability of using, since I have 4 outputs, just this ability of using one of the outputs as a clock sync pulse. Now, what is the problem with this? Because there are always problems. Well, let's have a little look, shall we? Let's see what Jacob, now I'm saying my name in English again. I had this conversation with Ben over his channel last week. Like, how do you pronounce your name, dude? Jakob, that's my name. Okay, so let's run this little thing. But let's change the clock back. Blip, like that. Okay, listen to the beat. Listen to the beat, people. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I love those old school beats. Alright, so what happens when I start moving stuff around? Whoops. 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 Now that is not good at all. You see, if you want to have other stuff going on in AUM, which is kind of the point of me doing this. So let's say I have a multi-IO sound card. I have 8 ins, which I have on this by that company I don't like, and 8 out. So I can run 8 sync pulse signals out to 8 pocket operators. Let's say I have that, okay? And then at the same time, I've got 3 apps inside AUM that I want to play with. Spacecraft, for instance. The problem is, everything goes haywire as soon as I want to do stuff here. So what I have to do now is I have to grab my iPad Pro here, use that for this sound card, put out the sync pulses, and then use Ableton Link to sync that to this iPad where I've got the AUM session. Now for me, that's not a problem. But for many people who only have one iDevice, that's going to be an issue. It can never be perfect. It can never be perfect. Never. Ever. Ever. Why should it be? Why should it be when everything can go array just like that? What do you do on the PO sync it as far as settings? Well, simply this, I simply put it to, I get the cable in, make sure that it's getting the sync signal on the left channel, and then you press down ACC on this unit. It's always the button right underneath the second knob, and then you press BPM, and then you cycle through different syncing options. And there is actually a good explanation. If you just search for pocket operator sync modes, you'll find it on Teenage Engineering, and it tells you what the different sync modes are. So there are sync modes where you put this one as a master and as a slave that puts through audio from a device connected to this, and one that puts out audio and sync. So it can do many things. And right now I have this one in sync mode 3 or no 4. Yeah, okay, so if I put it in 0, it just runs. If I put it in sync mode 1, you can hear the click pulse on the left channel. You hear it, alright? Put it in 2, I don't remember exactly what sync mode that is. I can't remember what 3 was either. If you put it in 4, it simply just puts out its own audio, waits for a sync pulse, and then runs off that, basically. And now it stopped playing completely. Why? It should actually be playing. What? Okay, so I'm... No, wait! Wait a minute. It turns out, Rustic, I had it in sync mode 2. Okay, so they're all confusing, and it's many times when I've set this up, I've ended up doing some weird stuff. And depending on what you're syncing, if you have several pocket operators in a row, then you make sure that the first one is sync 1, SY1, and the other ones are set to, I think, 3 or something, because you need to port the audio if you're chaining them, you know, where you put just a stereo cable to the output of a pocket operator, input of the next one, and you keep doing that. Then you use the same sync mode for the ones in the middle, I think, or all of them following, because they need to put through the sync and the audio. So the audio also comes out mono, but all of these pocket operators are mono. I mean, all of them. I'm gonna hook my up to DFAM. Oh, you got a DFAM. I'm jealous. I want a DFAM. Ever since I met Jim, you know, from Moog. Jim from Moog. I fell in love. With the with the DFAM. Well, Jim was very lovely too. He was a very lovely dude. You forgot us. Clock dividers are very important in modular synths. Live know about the app Covariant? Covariant? No. I did not know about Covariant. I don't know anything about that app. I wish Cubasis could send start-stop messages. Yeah, that I mean, like sync out, MIDI out, Ableton Link. That's something we've been asking for a long time. Me personally, I would never use Cubasis in a live setting. But if you're used to that, I get why you want to do that. I don't know if they'll ever do it. You know, I've spoken to Lars about that, but we'll never see. We'll never know what they will do and what they need to prioritize. But you know, we can always hope that they will do that. Jakob is coming around the MiRack. Covariant app. Okay, well, Rustic, you're going crazy over the Covariant app. What is that? What is Covariant app? Is that some sort of drug? Something you... What is that? Covariant app. Covariant app. Is that what is that? Am I gonna get something weird up here now? Oh, wait. That's too bright for you guys. Covariant on the App Store. What is that? Show me. Alan Clifton, Covariant. Covariant is a set of 3 audio units that turn DC-coupled audio interfaces into a MIDI to CV converter. Aha! The audio units convert MIDI note and controller data timing information from the host app to control voltages that can be used to control external analog synthesizers. Um, Rustic, is it this one you're talking about? Not this one? The other one? Or something? Am I talking about the wrong thing here? Oh, CV sequencer. Sequencer or covariant. Yeah. Obviously I don't have these, but I need to check them out. Rustic, do you need any special sound card for this? I know a lot of modular people like using oh, what is it called? Oh, what are those sound interfaces called? I can't remember now. I looked them up last night, and now I can't. If you know what I'm talking about, okay, you don't know. Just got my first iPhone 2 months ago, and starting from the bottom up. Your channel is a huge help, mostly playing with Cubases currently, but we'll grab something I've live enabled soon. Thank you, Timyan. And hey, Timyan, if you just wait long enough, you'll be able to get Agonizer synth on iPhone too, because we're working on it. I always get that question, so I'm answering it now. Awesome. Welcome to the iOS music family. You have to be a bit insane to want to do this. Trust me. Just trust me on that. I'm definitely a bit insane. I mean, after talking to Ben Jordan last week, I realized how insane I am to want to be locked into this ecosystem here with Apple. Because a lot of things would be much easier if I went the PC way like I used to do in the past. But there's just something so enticing with this platform. I just can't. And even Ben says that himself. Like, hey, I wish I could do everything on there. That's what he wants to do, but I get why he can't do it. I get it. I completely get it after our talk. If y'all didn't see that, I'll make sure to put a link to it down in the description. You can also search for Ben Jordan, Jakob haQ interview, live chat, or whatever, and see that thing. We even ended up talking politics, something I try to avoid as much as I can, but it was on his channel. So yeah, I'm a coward. I'm a fence sitter. I sit on the fence until I get a sore butthole. I said almost. I did say it. It's this thing my mother used to say to me. You never know when to shut up, Jacob. I think she's right. You know. I think she's right. So welcome and watch your wallet. Yeah, definitely. Do you know how many comments I get on my videos of people telling me you're bad for my wallet? I don't know if I'm supposed to feel bad about that or if I'm doing something good, to be honest. Because I'm obviously doing something good. I'm obviously being able to portray something in a good way, at least. I guess that's positive, but not if my viewers are getting poor from it. That would be a bad thing. Luckily, we are on iOS, so everything costs a little bit less on here. Unless you're actually buying new iDevices and also this kind of stupid crap. I mean, seriously, I really hate this. I hate this. I wish that this was more integrated into the pads. I don't mind thicker iPads or phones. I don't care about making everything thinner. I get that everything needs to be made thinner for some reason. How thin is it gonna get? Is it gonna get razor sharp thin? I mean, is it gonna get so thin at the point that we're gonna have cut gate instead of bend gate? We have cut gate. Everyone's cutting themselves on their iDevices now. I mean, is that where we're gonna end up? Then again, I'm looking at the Expanse where they actually have these. It looks like a thin plastic thing. A thin plastic thing. It looks like it's a see-through phone with a holographic display, right? And it looks pretty awesome. Now, if you could make something like that, would I want one? Yeah, of course I would. But at that point, I hope that everything wireless is so good, I won't have to bother with latency. Because that's the thing, right? You remove the phone, your phone jack, you remove every connection bit. Now everything else has to be wireless, and the wireless stuff has to be on point. It has to be on par with cables, and that's I don't see how that's gonna happen in any time soon. You know, transparency roll-up screens. Yeah, like you literally walk up to. You walk up to your window, you pull down your screen like that. That's your touch. That's your touch interface. Your window. That's just mean you're a good salesman. I I I hope I think that that's an is that good? I'm a good salesman. I hope so. I hope so. Are you using a 92222? you you actually it is one of those really it's called the logic mm, can you see me? Um 9 it is I think it's the is it 920? It says it's supposed to do 1080p, but I only ever get mine to do 720p because of other restrictions. But yeah, it is one of those. And I bought it at a time when everybody and their mother wanted to get in on live streaming, and this was before the COVID thing, all right? This was long before that. And so these cameras dropped in price, and I got mine for $40 here in Sweden, in the Swedish equivalent, a little bit more than $40. And I actually bought it directly from the store. I didn't order it or anything like that. And then they went back up to price again, double the price. So I was very, very happy, and they still sell these. They're quite popular because it's a, they really they just do their job. I must admit that I think it's a bit fuzzy, it's a bit fuzzy, and it's really hard to control sometimes. And sometimes I really do wish that I had one of those black magic cameras. That's just way out of my league, but mm, yeah, there would probably be some other problems. Even if I got a black magic camera to use for YouTube, then I would have to get a new computer too. I'm still sitting on a MacBook Pro 13-inch from 2012 or 13. I mean, it's really slow. It's probably the biggest crutch in my streaming setup right now because I've fixed everything else. Hello, Healing Heart. Hello, Sion. Captain. Hello, Captain. Yes, we can see you. Apple glasses. You won't have to touch it. You won't have to touch it. I like that. That's a good slogan. That's something you could use on your night out. No, no, we're not gonna go there. You don't have to touch it. Maybe we should print that on a T-shirt. You don't have to touch it. You don't even have to touch it. I mean, it could literally mean anything, but a lot of people will probably get annoyed because, or maybe that's just my mind. Yeah, maybe that's just me. Hello, Divos. So, for those of you who are just joining, we've been talking about MiRack because I've been experimenting with MiRack and syncing. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to find a way of using all the stuff I already have inside here, inside AOM, and then use one of my multiple outputs on a sound card as a sync clock pulse thing to sync pocket operators and other things, which is great. I love that. Love being able to do that. How did you delete stuff in here again? I think it's what AAC and pattern, right? Was it AAC and pattern? I can't remember now. Wait a minute. Let me just choose a pattern here. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, where's my melody? There. Anyone recognize this? Any hip hop lovers? Yeah, AC and pattern, I think that deletes it, right? And now it's empty? Yeah, it's empty. Sorry for forgetting about you a little bit. God, I love this one. It's actually my most favorite. I'm sorry for being quiet. The Pocket Operator 32 is my most favorite pocket operator. There's just simply, out of all the drum, I've said this before, all the drum machines I've ever tried, there is none of them that sounds like this because it sounds like Microtonic, and Microtonic is one of the best software drum machines I've ever used. It just it just does everything right with the envelopes. Everything. The right amount of hole, the right amount. Oh God, I just love the way that Magnus thinks. Wow, it's just it's not often you buy something. I mean, you can buy something, right? You buy an app, you buy a piece of hardware, and you come home with it, or you're already at home because you're buying apps in the couch, or you're on a bike or something. But you get it, you use it, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. But how often have you? I'm asking all of you, and tell me, how often have you ended up in a position where just you can't stop thinking about it? You're falling in love with it because it's so damn good. You get so many other apps, so many other things afterwards, but this thing you just keep coming back to it. It's so good. That's what I feel with like about Tonic. It's just both the Microtonic software, which is even more. I mean, you can do more with it. This thing is limited because I mean you can't do that much synthesis on it. But the fact that I can just take that from my desktop and put it in there, oh, God, I love it. I've made so many sounds for this. So many sounds I haven't released. I think I've made 400 sounds for it so far that I like. And out of those 400 sounds, I've released 140 or 138 of them or something like that. What's a good Microtonic iOS equivalent? There is none. There is none. Okay? A lot of people will tell you that maybe look for something like maybe Seek Beats, or you can do stuff with elastic drums, or you can do stuff with DM2. Yes, you can. And I can say that DM2 gives you kind of the right envelopes, but not really. There it's hard to get to the sweet spot. And that's something I wish that a lot of developers would do, that they would dare limit the control somewhat. Because I mean, of course, a developer cannot decide for a user how useful something is going to be or how useless something's going to be. But if you go into Agonizer Synth, did you know that you do not have full access to the absolute full length of the Xmod, of the cross mod? Why? Because whenever I use cross modulation in any other synth, and I gave this critique to Kai, like the cross modulation inside a Shockwave. I love Shockwave. I hate the that I can't get the sweet spots with the cross modulation. I asked him tweak that, and for Agonizer, I want you to tweak it to such a degree that when you're moving halfway on the knob, you're only moving a small percentage. And even though we're doing that, try it out in Agonizer. Try it out and hear how much of the sound really changes. Because you're in a sweet spot. You're able to get that sick ring modulation that I love so much. And I'm not able to get that in other synths unless I use some finer modulation or something else. Now, in something like Propelled's Thor, what they've done is you put down your finger on the control, and you let's I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm sorry for being so but this is really how I am as a person. I'll show you. Look at this, okay? Look at this. So what happens when I go in here and when I grab a knob? Well, I press down, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little line there, and when I drag to the side, you can see that line becoming bigger. And that's now I have a finer control of it. So I'm actually able to get that sweet spot. With a lot of synthesizers, some developers do implement this where you pull away from a knob and you get a finer control, or the control range where you can move in becomes larger, so you can do finer adjustments. Sometimes they have a double tap, and there are other ways. Sometimes there's a fine-tuning knob right beside it. I just Sometimes you can just go into the code, tell the knob that you cannot move further than this point. And that's what I wish they would do with some of these drum machines. Because if you did, you could get some of the envelopes that you wanted to get the pitch just right. There's nothing that sounds like this thing on iOS. out of everything I've tried. There are stuff that comes close, but nothing quite like it. Oh, God. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. Anyone remember that one? Yeah, I'm really old. I'm starting to feel old. Like everything I'm quoting is at least, 10 years old or something like that. What? Wait a minute. Where did I put my Oh, they're right in front of me. You know what? People, I've recognized something here. Play a little koala for us, please, you say. Oh God, you want me to Koala is one of those apps. I'm really unable to really just do something off in front of an audience. Uh, I love that app, but I mostly do stuff with my voice, pitch stuff and things like that, and I'm not yet come to a place where I feel comfortable enough to do that kind of stuff because of my not so good singing voice. But I promise you, Samuel, that episode will happen. I'll do it. I'll make it happen. Um, I've got something planned and I've thought about it. I want to be able to do some of these jams where you just there used to be this trend on YouTube in back in the days, with some YouTubers doing these vocal performances, and I don't sing that well, but I can use loop pedals like Loopy and Koala Sampler, and I would like to just use a microphone, just my voice, and just Koala Sampler because it's a very, very powerful app, and that's a good way of showing what you can actually do with it. An episode kind of like what Tatsuya did with the Volca sampler. You remember that? Remember that video where he does that beat with just one sound. He uses just one sound. I want to do something like that, something like that, but do something more on top of it with my voice. So we'll do it. I can't do it now. I know I'm probably letting you down, Samuel, and maybe anyone else who wants to see me making it ass of myself on stream. But I will. I promise. Hello, Davey. Sup, Davey? Davey says, "Woot." Woot is sick. Anyone who doesn't have Woot, you're missing out. You might not need it. You might not need it. If you're into ambient sounds or making soundscapes, you might not need it. But then again, Woot can quickly become a sculpting tool because of how you can force sound into a certain position. You can really show a sound its place with Woot, since it does that upwards compression and downwards compression at the same time. So anyone should try it out. It's really good. WOOT from Brambos, for anyone who doesn't know. Yes, it is an absolute beat. No worries, I go crazy with it all the time. Well, Samuel, it is a great app, isn't it? And I love the latest updates. I mean, the Pocket Operator Sync mode is pretty cool too. Um, Waiting for the window to open. Someone wants to open a window. You just open a window, dude. That's probably not what you were talking about. 38 people watching and only 8 likes. Strike that like, people. You need to do what Davey says. I'm not the one saying it. Davey is saying it. Davey tells you. And Davey is the man. Davey is a YouTube god. And when Davey says something, you should listen. So hit that like. Please hit that like. That's because I just showed up. I love just reading stuff out of context because it makes the episodes or the live streams so much that much more better. That much more that much better. I can't English properly. I've spoken English my whole life, to be honest, okay, since I was a little child, thanks to my mother. And that's why I know a lot of words, but over the years, something's happened, and I've gotten sloppy. I mean, really. And in the middle of everything, at the beginning of my YouTube channel, I talked with a more of a Brit accent. That's something I wanted to try. I'm completely in love with different accents, because accents and language to me is music. You know how they sound, the way that intonations work, and how how words are being cut off, and oh, I just love it. And when I try to emulate that, it's not to make fun of someone. It's because I like it so much, so I want to try to sound like that. Which, in many cases, in many situations, it's ended up getting me into trouble. All right, not because I was trying to make any trouble, but that happens when you do stuff like that, because some people are easily butthurt. I know, I'm one of those people, obviously, for some stupid reason. But yeah, I blame my ego. It's just that, see, that's why I love this Discord chat. I'm gonna turn that on later on, and anyone who wants to get in on Discord and chat with me live, I love hearing your voices. I want to hear your voices. It doesn't matter if your English is bad. I mean, listen to me. Sometimes I don't even know how to finish proper sentences, finish sentences properly, and that happens all the time. Apparently, I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't. It just happened. But hurt is not UK speak. Maybe it should be. It's a good. It's a well. I could use your miffed. I could use the word miffed. Some people get a bit miffed. Is that better? I like that word too. That's a cool word. Miffed. The world of controllers is wide. Dude, you do fine speaking English. I can't speak Swedish. You can always learn. You can always learn. I should do that episode. Synthesizers in Swedish, or how to speak synth in Swedish. I should do that episode. I'm gonna do that. Here's a cool thing. Do you know how to say synth in Swedish? Like this. Synth. Many of our words are borrowed from other languages. And when it comes to audio equipment, a lot of it it's gonna sound like we're talking the same language. So you'll hear a bunch of gibberish in between words like MIDI, audio. We'll use that too sometimes. Or synth or sync. I might just get another song out of this. Davey Pooh's. Oh no, I did say that, Davey. Okay, I'm not gonna do sound bites for you on purpose. I love it when people just use stuff that I say, Synth. Yes, synth, without the H. And if you want to say synthesizer, you say synth. Eller synthesizer. It's just different pronunciation. Where did you learn English and why? Well, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm not fully Swedish. Well, I am because I grew up here, but I have mixed blood in me. So I've got a little bit of Uganda in me, and a little bit of Pakistan in me too. I mean, my last name is Pakistani, HAQ. It's just that we don't spell it with the old spelling, but that's Pakistani name. And unfortunately, I never got around to learn Urdu, but I do understand a little bit of it. When I grew up, we had a lot of Swedish people around us, of course, but I grew up in an area where a lot of immigrants came. So when I was little, I spoke a little bit of everything. Like I could understand when Bosnian people spoke to each other, Serbian people when they spoke to each other. I learned a little bit of Greek, Finnish. I love that language. Finnish and Japanese, they're closely linked together than you think when you start listening to them, and some of the words and their intonations, and yeah, very interesting. I even learned a little bit of Russian, and so many languages. Arabic, I learned a bit of that. Most of it I've forgotten because I never spoke it all the time. But so many languages, and I realized very early, at an early age, that I absolutely love languages. I love it, and I probably should have, tried to learn it in school. But then again, I was. How do I say this to emphasize? my head is fucked, okay? It cannot be still for 5 seconds. I've got full on. My ADHD can be ragingly bad in me, okay? I, I don't know if you've ever noticed in my videos, but sometimes if you look, it looks as I'm doing. It looks as if I'm doing something naughty, because you can see this thing shaking like this. It's because my knee is constantly shaking like this to keep myself calm from the stress of not being able to say my lines properly. Now, this gets worse when I'm in a social situation, like when I did the thing over at Thomann synth reactor. I'm starting to speak Swedish again. So I'm sitting there in full view of the camera and everything, and that's when I have to. That's why those situations are so tiring for me. Why I almost end up crying the same night that something like that happens, when I have to spend time around people, because I have to constantly keep myself from not acting out on every goddamn impulse I get, and there are a lot of them. Okay, a lot of them, and it just makes me look weird and awkward, and I'll say stuff right out there, the truth, right like that. I won't even think about what that means or how it might hurt people. I'm impulsive like that. At the same time, I'm introverted, so everything hurts. It's weird, and at the same time, it's just funny when you hear about it. If oh God. Oh, I can't. I can't stand being with myself sometimes. So I keep myself busy all the time. I keep myself busy with machines and things. I don't do well with people. But, a live stream is lovely because you can turn the camera off after 2 hours, and you can go away whenever you want. Whenever you think it's becoming too much, you can just turn it off and walk away from it. So we can all save each other when we want to. We just turn away, turn off the video or anything like that. You don't have to spend a whole day with me trying to fight myself, because that's what it is. And in school that was not good for me. Trying to fit in while fighting myself at the same time. Ugh, God. But I'm sure that some of you might recognize how that feels, or maybe not. I don't know. Are you a Scorpio? No. I promise, Rustic. Look. I can send you a DNA result. I've checked it. I'm human, mostly. Well, some of it is some other stuff, partly synth, partly something else, but mostly human. I know what you mean, but I don't believe in that stuff, and that's why I'm not giving you an answer, because then I'm also disclosing when my birthday is, and I don't want to do that. So you're gonna have to try to figure that out. I just realized something. Never mind, but you're gonna have to figure that out yourself. Poor Jacob. No, not poor me. Not poor me. Everybody is doing their best, and whatever I'm going through, that's just life, and I have to deal with it. And one of the ways I'm dealing with it is part of the video work too. I get to act out in a controlled environment, and that is why live streams scare me, because I am afraid that I'm gonna say something really off, or oh, because of troubles I've gotten into the past. And like I've talked about this at some other point. I never got any diagnosis for it, but there's this form of Asperger that is called something else, high effective something, okay? And it really fits my bill, but I can't know for sure, since I don't have. I haven't had anyone go through my head or tell me that that's the case, from someone actually, in the field. So it's just guesswork, but it sounds a bit right. And so I mean, I keep taking things literally, and I do that really really hard also when people are commenting. Many times people are trying to make jokes with me, and I just don't get it. And many times when I try to make jokes. They're not really getting there. You might have seen the some of the awkward jokes, over the years in my videos. I've made some awkward jokes simply because I don't get why it wouldn't be fun, or yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I love it. I love it. Anyone love Ricky Gervais, by the way, or Ricky Gervais? I don't know why I came to think about him, but I think I did a routine about that stuff some time ago. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm just going off on a tangent now. High functioning added to the front of Asperger's or whatever. Yeah, 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 something like that. Something like that. And it kind of fits my bill, the way that I work, the way that I am, the way that I hate changes in my life, and why I try to keep away from people and keep stuff on a certain way of doing things, and I have to have certain things that I do in a certain amount of times, a certain amount of things. I calculate how long making doing the dishes is gonna take in seconds and minutes, and how long it takes me to fill a glass of water, and I keep track of these things so that I always keep track of my time, trying to stay in control of that, which is exhausting, but when I don't do that, when something comes in, it could just be my girlfriend, she comes in here being so sweet to me, saying something, like she wants to give me a kiss. All right, that's the sweetest thing. And my initial reaction is, oh God, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I have to fight to not show that, because like I don't really feel like that about her. I love her so much, and I don't want her to feel unwelcome. But that's my brain. That's how it reacts. Can you imagine what that was like in school? Someone tells you you're gonna go outside tomorrow. It's a field trip. And then that plan is changed. And I'm like 9 years old, and I have not had enough life, not enough years to have the mental acuity. Can you say that? I wasn't equipped with the mental tools to handle that. So I threw a fit. You see what I mean? I threw a fit. Now I don't throw a fit anymore with my body, like Jerry Maguire. I don't do that, but my brain is. It's throwing such a fit. Everything that changes. Imagine this. You're standing and waiting on the bus. The bus is supposed to arrive at 16:16. It's now 16:16. I get infuriated, absolutely infuriated, and everything feels wrong. And then I get anxious, and I have to control my breathing. That's my life. That's what it is. It's funny to me. It's funny because, I mean, it's such a small thing to get worried about, but that's just the way I am. I know how small of a thing it is. I know how small of a thing it is, but I can't help it. So I've just trained myself not to show it, and some of it, the things that used to be really bad, have gotten better over time. Some things don't bother me as much anymore. As long as it's not a smell. As long as it's not something that smells weird or bad. Because, wow, strong reactions to stuff like that. Perfumes, everything, strong reactions. Like instant headaches, stuff like that. It's just instant for me. It's weird. Anyone else like that? You wanna talk music again? I keep calm by staying in most of the time. Well, there you see. I mean, you could be a YouTuber. You've got it. You're cut out for it all the time. That's what it. That's one of the descriptions. Want to be YouTuber? Stay in all the time, and then do something and vlog about that. And suddenly, you have a channel. That's what it felt like I was doing. I just keep to myself and start a channel. And everybody, it's not sad. It's not sad. That's the way it is. Here. It's not sad. It's not sad. It used to be a thing. We used to have that as a thing. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to ask about, everyone? Because I'm so far off course right now. They even some people even left the stream because like this dude is just gonna rave on about himself all night. I got better things to do. L- Me too. Well, then I get you. Anxiety. I get that. Anxiety control is real. Never dealt with it when I was young, but the older I get, the more I have to manage my anxiety. It's a difficult thing to get a handle on. I work on it daily. And I imagine that all of this part of it is also the way that my brain fires on all cylinder, and it has a hard time keeping everything in one line, which is why my tutorials are so, dead on, straight on point, because I need tutorial to be like that for me, because my brain is hard to get to focus on one thing. That's why my tutorials need to be like that. That's why I make them like that. So if you like that, it's because I have a problem focusing. If you like my tutorials, it's because I have a problem focusing. So all of this started, me talking about this, I think because someone asked me why I learned to speak English. I learned to speak English because I wanted to be able to speak to my relatives, because I didn't learn Urdu or the other 8 languages that they spoke, but English. So my mom, she started talking English with me and my brother uh, from a very young age, like baby age. And so I might have sounded a bit more broken back then, with the accents and everything, because of my. I probably would have sounded more like a Swedish person talking English with a very healthy Swedish, one of those sweet Swedish accents that I love so much. I found a channel the other day of a gaming dude gaming, um, and he really has that like thick Stockholm Swedish accent, and it sounds really cute, and I love listening to it. Oh God. And then there's the accent that you can get from, like, if you've ever watched PewDiePie, then that's also a type of accent from Sweden. I mean, it all depends on where you're from. I must say that I love it when people from Gothenburg speak English with a really broken Swedish accent. That's the best, absolute best. I hope this COVID thing can be over at some point, because I would love to have this meetup I always have used to have with Jesper Jones whenever he came to Stockholm. We used to meet up, and I miss that guy so much. I miss the meetings so much. And the last time he asked me if he should go up, and I'm like, I don't think so, because of the thing and everything, and I don't want to travel. And for me, that also means that I would have to sit on a subway, and it's just a bad situation, and I don't want to add to it, and neither did he. So I miss him, and he's from Gothenburg, and he's got a lovely accent. Oh God, lovely accent. I'm gonna ask him if he can do some English words for me. Just maybe I should call him this evening. Say, Jesper, speak English to me. He's gonna wonder what the hell is going on with me. Hello, Kalle. Hello, Kalle. Kalle Kempe. Kalle Kempe. We call it Volvo English. If I talk with a Gothenburg accent, then that's what you hear. It kind of sounds like this when they talk. Hello and welcome to Gothenburg. This is Jakob haQ sitting in Stockholm. Sasha, Tat, Red, Red, Red recording. You're talking about something, and I'm always reading it out of. Hey, Omanji, we're on the same time zone, man. Because you're down. You're down there, on the time thing on the globe. We're on the same. I never. I keep forgetting that it's on the same. I always think about, like most. For me, I grew up in a European country, Scandinavian. So whenever people talk about anything African, it's always away in Africa. And most people don't even think about Africa being a continent with countries, like many countries, many languages. And for me, it's always a distance place. And then I realized we're on the same time zone, so the time is the same over at your place as it is up here. Jakob haQ from Stockholm. You're spelling it with O. That's I love that letter, by the way. The O, the Ä, and the Ö. It will never be the same again. Will you get the vaccine to meet up with people again or to travel? I'll get the vaccine uh, to make sure, you know. But here's the thing. I've everything. I've canceled everything because I don't know about the situation. And I think that getting the vaccine, even just to be able to, you know, even when you do social distancing, when you go out shopping, you're always at a risk anyway. And shopping is something I have to do because I need to provide for our stomachs. So it would be a good thing to get it just for that, you know? I don't think I would be getting it to plan to go and meet up with people. Probably. I'm I know that my channel is smaller, and it's not like I'm one of these huge YouTubers that that can actually influence people. Or I'm, I mean, most of the people watching my channel aren't children. All right, so people who have these huge platforms on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, who are younger and have children watching them, they should really be, showing them a good example by maybe, doing the social distancing and, getting the vaccine in any case, for that. For me, I I don't want to travel until it gets better. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like I need to do any statement about it, on my channel, because everyone is grown up watching me. They already know this. So I don't feel like yeah, it feels a bit silly for me to say something like that to everyone in a video or something like that. That's why I never talk about it. But yeah, getting it just to be able to shop with and knowing that you won't be, transmitting to anyone else, that is a good feeling. So that's my answer, I guess. I'm not planning on going anywhere until stuff settles down and until we get more get restrictions lifted and them government actually saying like, hey, dudes and dudettes and everything in between, it's calmer now. We can do this and that. Remember this and that. I have no problems following that because I want to keep everyone around me safe, as safe as I can. So if I can help in any way staying at home right now, then I will stay at home. Um, but I can see how that can become a problem for a lot of people, depression over time. I get it. I see it, and I'm depressed too, all of the time, for other things, not for being alone. I have my machines, and I also have I'm lucky enough to have an audience. Thank you for that. But for some people, that it might be hard to stay in, and I get them. I get them. There's always Skype, FaceTime, and many other services, to talk to each other. As long as we have that, we're not completely alone, I feel. I know it might not be enough, sometimes you need a hug, but you can always send a graphical hug to someone, as long as you can see each other. I come from a family that has, on my father's side, uh, there's still, a lot of relatives left, family and cousins and in Pakistan and Uganda and stuff. And so a phone call, means so much to these people when they can't afford traveling back all the time because it's expensive to travel. So for me, a phone call have always meant a lot, that you're not alone. Always. And now you can do phone calls with picture. Wow. I mean, wow. That's awesome. So we're not alone, and we have to help each other to be not alone. Lockdown sucks. Yeah, they do, and I mean, I can't say that I wasn't really sad that we didn't get to do the Toman reactor thing, and now I don't think it's gonna happen ever again because of this So I'm really sad about that, but I'm not angry. Mr. Fung, we're the same age? Yeah. I'm sorry, Samuel. I just saw that comment. I had to moderate it because YouTube. I've looked over YouTube so many times now, and I can't find any way of actually making it just clear some stuff. It's not like I've set anything like that, so it shouldn't, but it does catches stuff just because you write something like shit and but don't stop doing that because I want you to be able to speak freely, in my chat. I'm just sorry I missed it. I've cleared it now anyway, so it's there. Do something with the Thor. You don't want to ask me doing that, Keller. You don't. Because whenever I get my hands on Thor, I always go into my people are going to get angry with me. I can't stop myself. I'm such a What is this? I don't even know if anyone can hear this. We'll have to do oopsie. 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 Do I actually have any things in here that I made recently that don't sound like farts? Because I do love going through my fart folder for all the farts I did. And, it's insane how much time I actually put into making all of these fart presets. Oh yeah, there's the if anyone has figure, this is the figure patch used for the cave-in, and it's literally just the noise oscillator. That's what it is. That's cool. What do we have? Do we have anything? Nothing? Nothing new? Ah, crap, I'm on the new one, so I have everything on this one. Ah. Okay, I need to start moving over all of my stuff from there to here again. Sometimes I end up working with this. I grab it in the morning. I've been working with some patches for Agonizer synth, preparing, for some stuff, and some other synths. Thor is one of them. And so I made patches, and I keep grabbing the old one because I'm so used to the 13-inch, and I forget that I have the new one. Let's do something completely new, and let's talk during that also. I love the chord mode in this synth. Is that too loud? I like going down in the lower octaves. Farty octaves. Best thing I know. Ooh. I talked to Heinbach about how synthesizers sound a bit too synthy. And I get why he thinks that, because, the guy works with oscillators that can put out over 60 volts and they go into microwave territory and stuff. Whereas these synthesizers are made and tuned for being synthesizers, musical instruments. Come on, run that. Repeat that. Run that. And would be nice if we could modulate the filter with this thing. Actually, let's do that. Can you order food online there? Yeah, Vortex, you can order food online. It's just that it's a very expensive service to do, and if you're living in an area like I do, where people like I live, it's people that it's immigrants and also people who can't afford like really expensive housing or anything like that. So, uh, it's not poor, but some people are poor and some people have not that much money. To spend money on something like that is it's unthinkable for many of these people, and even for myself, it's unthinkable. I kind of have to go out and get it. And we also have a mall, and in the mall we have not like a, what do you call it? It's not Walmart, but kind of Walmarty. Okay, so you can buy stuff cheaper. If you need like a carton of 24 jars, or of smashed tomatoes or crushed tomatoes, you can get that for cheap. You can get cheap toilet paper, stuff like that. Because toilet paper, everybody loves that. We've seen that. At least in the U.S. and the UK, toilet paper. Wow, even in Sweden, so much toilet paper, so much. Why do you need so much TP? Why do people need so much TP? It's like, do they make bowls out of it? Do they wear it? Maybe they're not wearing clothes. They're wearing toilet paper underneath. Paper is pretty good, as an to isolate against. Well, that's newspaper. I used to do that when I was driving to work on my moped when I was younger. Since it got so cold during winter, when you're driving a moped, you actually get icicles forming in your mustache and stuff. And I'm sure that people who live in cold areas, you've gone through something like that, on a sled or a moped or car with an open window, stuff like that. And all the moist you breathe out just forms up and becomes this icicle mustache. And so to keep yourself warm, it's so easy because you just take newspaper and you just put it into your pants and your chest and everything, and you feel nothing from the cold. The worst thing with that is that whenever you end up at the destination driving for a bit, your hands are frozen, and it's very hard to let go from the handlebars. So let's do a mod source. I probably went off a tangent again and didn't answer someone. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to answer me again. So the modulation source in this case needs to be the filter envelope, and we're gonna do something weird. We're just gonna go to the oscillator and change the frequency. Let's add a scale to that with an LFO. I love this. It's like a farty little korg. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. I wonder what happens if we ran that through. Let's do some weird stuff with that. Sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Charlie Brown. Oh, you mean Charlie Brown? Is that with that dog Snoopy? Snoopy? Yeah, I think we had that in here in Sweden, but it was dubbed or something, so it was in Swedish. And then years later, I saw a US version of it. Some guy sent me a VHS movie with the movie, what was it, Terminator on it or something. And then after that, there were parts of Charlie Brown in English. And that's like one of those instances when you realize that everything you hear is dubbed, and So I started looking for stuff at a later age that I saw when I was younger, and I wanted to find everything in their original language. And so I completely fell in love with anime, Japanese anime, because suddenly it sounded more real, because when you dub it, there's not the same amount of effort most of the time that goes into actually redubbing it and making it sound good. So all the sound effects and everything disappear, and then you have this one person doing all the voices for like 20 characters. And I mean, that would be devastating for something like a show like One Piece, which is one of the calling cards for One Piece is that every bad guy has a weird laughter, and it's a lot. It's so much. It completely makes that show so special because of the laughing thing. They actually made that into a thing. Why am I talking anime? Shaper. Astro Boy, Canadian Astro Boy sounds so different to other countries. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the same with a lot of. Are you using the Nano Key Studio right now? Oh, I'm so sorry. Whoa, no, 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 no. You see? I'm using the built-in keyboard. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. I should have said something. Let's do more stuff. I like doing weird stuff and slow stuff also. Let's see if we can fix mod distillation for LFO rate 2, and we'll use LFO rate 1 to modulate the LFO2 rate, and then we'll send the LFO2 we'll send that to the pitch again of oscillator 1. Yeah, let's do that. Let's change the LFOs here. I love that. It sounds great. Like we need to do something with the filter here, because the filter needs to move a little bit more. So let's send the LFO 1 to the filter also, the cutoff. Where is it? Frequency? Let's add a scale to that, and let's make it the envelope. Maybe the filter envelope, or the mod envelope. And we'll do something with that too, the mod envelope. A little bit like that. And it would be cool if we could make it move even more. We could send the sequencer output. I'm probably forgetting about checking here again. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Curve 1. We'll send curve 1 to the pitch again. Yes. I could have just used the pitch inside here. Why did I even do that? We're doing it because we're doing it live. So no. Stop. Let's not do that. No. And now I've done something in Thor. So whoever asked for that, was it Kalle? I don't remember. There you go. I made. I should probably give it a name. Kalle's cat, because it sounds like a cat. Kalle's sick. Kalle's very sick. Wait. I need to spell this right. Very sick cat. Kalle's very sick cat. So. Are we done now with that, Kalle? Are we done now? I miss doing tutorials with Thor, but there's no use anymore because no one can get it. And then I'll just have a video with come and say, hey, you know it's gone now. 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 Hey, where can I get it, Jakob? Where can I get it? And some shimmer reverb. Let's do that. I don't know if you're telling me, but you know what? Let's do a shimmer reverb thing out of this thing. So let's load up Thor over here. Thor. Thor. There we go. And now Thor is loaded. And all we need is a shimmer reverb. And audio unit. Which one should I go for? There are 7 shimmer reverbs, 7 of them. And I really do love Altessa. So, Altessa. And increase the pitch here. Increase the feedback to about 40-45%. And also get the wet up like that. That should be. It sounds pretty cool. We could go for a slow attack though. Uncle Tom, did I get LK to work properly? Well, with the update they did, I was able to map my controller to it, and they also did put in a direct support for that controller. And here's the thing. Since it already has direct support for it, there's no need to map that controller now. Because if you try to do that, then you're sending it double messages, and then it won't work properly. So you'll have, if you do that to one of the recording buttons, for instance, for the arming, you press it, and then when you press it again, nothing happens, and you have to press it twice. And I figured out that, oh, of course, it's because they also added native support for that controller. So there's really no need. But they did add me to learn, and I tried with another controller, and that works. So I haven't tried it to the point where I'm getting it to work like I want, because I got sidetracked. So I'm trying to avoid the question because I haven't been able to check out fully what I can do with it now. I'm just really happy that they introduced that. And I was about to make a video for it this week, but then started working on the Heinbach video again. I've been working on it on off for over a month. And I just want to finish it up before I do anything else. So I guess you'll get an answer soon enough. Well, later. But it's coming. You managed to load Thor into AUM? I couldn't find it in the list. Well, it's. Are you sure you checked it in the IIA list? So that you weren't in the AUV3 list? I mean, and if you can't see it, sometimes a restart might work. Also, what iOS are you on? Acid Cat Dark Bass. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. Wait. What? Why is there little... Why is that one there? What is this? What? What? I'm so confused. Is that the thing that is there? What? Oh, it's this one. I'm so stupid. Ah. Alright, so let's put that one in here. We got a little beat going on there. A little beat going on. We need a longer tail. More feedback. More feedback. Bigger size. I want this to go crazy. And let's put this one down again. Let's see how that works. Timian, I read that as a cat getting sick on the wall. I kind of like this already. Just a slow beat doing its thing. Yeah, it's kind of the stuff I used to do when I was working with modular systems. Uh, yeah, I do miss it. I miss it a lot. The experimentation, and I mean, for me it's not good when I want to get results, but you know, when you want to experiment, when you want to get some music done, and when you want to jam, modular has a lot going for you in that it's when you've got it set up, it's there, right? It's just there. And a lot of the modular setups that I do over here, it doesn't really feel the same because of the lack of controls and patch cables and stuff, of course. But sometimes it gets floaty because I'll end up wanting to add something more, and I get another app in there and another app in there. With a synth or modular, it takes a bit more to actually add a module to it, because now you have to pay a lot more for it. You have to order it or go get it, bring it back, put it in, test it out. It's a different process. On iOS or software, we're spoiled. I mean, come on. You get VCV-Rack or MiRack or anything else, you know, like the old Audulus or any modular system, like Moog's Model 15. We have all of these modules. We're showered by them, and we just pick anything we want. You can still get a good jam going on, right? But sometimes, for those of you who do modulars, if you're, don't you miss sometimes just having maybe, or wishing that you had a wall to work on instead of just a screen? Because that's the feeling I can get sometimes, that I want to move around with that sound when I'm doing modular. So I like doing smaller things with modular in an app, but actually doing it like a big thing, yeah, a wall is pretty awesome, but hella expensive. I got booted. No, oh, really? You got booted from my stream? Are you serious? I integrate the modular and iPad. Mike Lucas, by the way, what interface are you using? Are you using one of those special interfaces that modular people like using? I keep saying special interfaces, but there's always these three interfaces that people always talk about whenever they talk modular and they want to get an interface, and they're like, yeah, of course, it's this and that and that. You get these. I can't remember what their names are though. If anyone comes, anything comes to mind, just type it out there. I knew I said I was gonna invite people on Discord, and now I've forgot about it, and we only have half an hour left. I'm so sorry. Jakob, if you did a Kickstarter for a wall of modular, I think people would contribute. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. If I'm getting a modular, I'm gonna get the modular myself, or I'm gonna use whatever skills I still have from my DIY days when I used to build stuff, and I might just build stuff myself. Actually, I watched a video, I think it was maybe last year or something. There's this channel called Marcus Fuller. because the guy's name is Marcus Fuller. He's an electrician, and I think he's got like an engineering degree or something like that. Um, and he builds modules for himself all the time, and I just I like that. That's pretty cool. Maybe I should just homebrew my modular. Yeah, I don't use a Motu. Expert sleepers, ES8 and ES6. Thank you, thank you. Mike Lucas did it. He did it. Maybe someone else did say it earlier. I don't know, but you're gonna get the credit, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Sleepers, expert sleepers, ES8 and ES6. I see those two. I thought it was three. I see those two being mentioned all the time, and I'm gonna check in it. I'm gonna look up on it, and because I want to know why they're so popular. My tea is out. Oh no. Oh no. Um, do I even mention this? Okay, so everyone, I've been I've been trying to figure out why my volume output for my headphones has been so low, because I've floored the volume control. So the volume should be at the highest. I've got the everything tweaked up everywhere, so the volume is supposed to be loud in here. And I just realized something. The reason to why it doesn't sound like it's supposed to in my ears right now is because I'm wearing I'm wearing two sets of headphones. Yep, that sounds about right. Jag blir så trött på mig själv. Wow, everything sounds different now. Wow, that's great. God damn. All right, where were I? Where were we? Um, there is also an ES3, so it is three expert sleepos. It's a whole ecosystem of MiRack mounted audio interfaces. The ES6 is just an input expander. ES3 is an output expander, I think. ES8 and 9 are the master audio interfaces they typically connect to. Ah, okay, I get it. And they made those so, oh my god, it's too loud. I can hear myself, in this microphone. I don't know exactly why they routed it like that. I wish you did, yeah. But so they probably made those so that the signal would be like really, really pure in those ES modules, just to make sure that you're not getting any signal degradation or anything like that. Is that what I'm thinking? Like it's kind of an audiophile thing, or since you're doing modular, you want stuff to be clean. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna look into those anyway. Well, I'm glad you're having fun at my expense. I'm happy about that. At least someone is happy about that. Have you noticed that I drink more when I get nervous? Luckily nowadays I only drink water, tea, and coffee with milk. Someone said somewhere that I've stopped drinking coffee. I haven't stopped drinking coffee. I just pulled down on it. I don't drink as much. I used to drink like a pot of coffee or two. Now I drink 1 cup, half of the cup. I make it really strong, concentrated coffee, and then a bit of oat milk, and that's it. And that's what I love. I love that. I can't even start my days without that. They're DC coupled, meaning they can send and record CV signals as well as audio. Okay, now I get it. So I can process modular level, then output back at modular level. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't say, about the syncing signals. A normal sync pulse is a very short pulse. It almost looks like a square, depending on what device is making it. But the sync pulse from the pocket operator, it's kind of a little bit of a skewered pulse, but it's really short burst pulse and at 5 volts. And when you want to send that out through an audio interface, I mean, if you're pulling down on the volume, you're not sending out a full pulse. And sometimes if you can try it yourself. If you try doing the MiRack sync that I did, anyone out there, and you want to sync it with a pocket operator, then if you pull down on the volume for the sync pulse going into it, you can hear that suddenly it skips a beat. You're at the exact level where the minimum level for the sync pulse before it stops listening to it altogether, and thinks that there is no sync pulse there. Real noise cancelling. Yes, it was very noise cancelling. I have the FH2. It's very MIDI. Is that also a module? What? What? Yeah. Now I get it. I think I've missed so many questions here. Luckily, not in the latest. I think everyone who had questions and wanted them answered maybe just left. So, yeah, we'll just go with that. And now I'm at that point again, like I said in the last one, where I feel like I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea. It's an art trying to entertain people. And I never know. Hey, look at this. We got Patrick Baird in here, and I'm gonna couple this. Let's see here. Join voice. Is Patrick still there? I'm gonna see if he's still there. I'm gonna just connect it up so we can see if we can make this happen. And I'll just connect this one into here and see if this can work. Patrick is the GarageBand guide, by the way, if you didn't know that. So if you're still here, Patrick, now I've got the Discord on, and so you should be able to add yourself in there. You pressed the wrong button. Did you press the wrong button and you added yourself when you weren't supposed to, or did you eject yourself? I don't know which it was, but the chat is open and we should be able to hear someone getting in there now anyway. I think. I can't be certain. Just joined your Discord and was nosing around. Ah, okay, I get it. Thank you for showing up, Patrick. And by the way, I know we've talked about this several times now, but we should really do that thing together soon on either channel. It doesn't matter to me, but we'll schedule something on my main channel if you want to do it there, or on yours, an interview chat or something. I'll send off an email to you when I'm done streaming, and we can talk it over and set up a date or something and do something together. That would be fun. I get way too little interaction with people. Yeah, I get it. It's cool, but I'll send you an email and we'll set something up. Hello, Fernando. Greetings from Spain. Hola from Sweden. Hola from Sweden. It's almost as if I'm saying that I'm Hola from Sweden. I'll shoot you an email. Last month was mad. Hopefully more time this month. Yeah, it's cool. It's good. As long as you know that I'm always up for it. So yeah. Hola, amigo. I look all wavy in here. I'm using my iPad Pro. I used to use my mini iPad mini, for this streaming thing as a mirror, but ever since I got the big iPad here now, the newer one, yeah, it feels good to have a little bigger window with myself in view, actually. Feels good. I should do something with that. Maybe I can use a a face changer on there or something else. You know, put up a picture of maybe cookie dough or so. I don't know why I said cookie dough, but yeah, you know, something. Why did I say cookie dough? You look pretty cool. Thank you. I is that are you trolling me now? You know that's okay if you are, but or are you talking about my hair? Maybe you haven't seen any videos where I show my hair yet. I don't know. Nope. Ah, okay. Thank you then. You never know. Like I said, I have a hard time knowing when people troll me or not because I'm always taking everything so literal, you know? It's so hard. Would you like to try STH for me to compare? STH? Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. YouTube YouTube is telling me that my streaming is bad. Okay, I might start cutting out. You might know if I start cutting out, it's because something is happening. I've had problems with my broadband connection lately. Yes, it has to be your hair. All right, yeah, my hair is gray. I'm 42, and now I ripped off that band-aid. Sorry, but I kind of like it like this, you know? I've had gray hair for a long time. Can you just check the LFO visuals in Continua? The LFO visuals. All right. Continue. I'll just wait. First, I'll just shut off this thing here. Thor and Altessa. I did save the patch, so that's okay. Continua. You mean by audio damage, right? Continua. Alright, so here's Continua. Maybe you can see that. I don't know. Is it too dark? No, you can actually see that. Alright. You want me to check what happened with the locks? Ooh, I cut them off a long time ago. Like, not too long ago, but what I've been doing is I've been pulling locks one by one by one. I've had locks since before my teenage years, and I got tired. I got tired. I just I don't give a damn about what my hair is anymore. My hair is gray. I'm balding, and so I said, fuck it. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm just gonna look like I do. I'm gonna pull off the dreads, and that's me. So that's what you're getting right now. That's the I don't give a fuck version of Jakob, basically. I hope that's cool. I'm in an airport too. Oh, where are you flying? I've been listening to the last 10 minutes and now you're 42. I've had my locks for 12 years. I'm wondering if I should cut them. Well, Mr. Ramirez, listen, hombre. So, if you are thinking about it, then ask yourself why you're thinking about it. Because when I started asking myself if I should remove them, it was because I was having issues, but I didn't identify that until I asked myself why I was thinking that. And then after that, it still took me another 8 years before I actually started removing them. Because they kind of became my identity. Maybe you who have dreads or people who have dreads can identify with that. And I think that goes for anything. Whether you're wearing a kilt or you're wearing your hair a certain way or something, when you do it a long time enough, you identify with it. And not only that, if you've got a public job, kind of like YouTube, people are gonna see you one way, and then they get used to that. And some people, not me, but some people might be scared that if they change their looks, the people aren't gonna like them. And for some people, that actually does matter, especially if you're in the beauty community and doing beauty vlogs and stuff like that. I get that, but I couldn't give a damn. I just want to do what I want to do, and so, hombre, if you wanna cut your hair off, just cut it off, or do it like me. You take one dread at a time, and you feel how it feels. You know, just feel it. Get a feeling for it. If you're liking it, then remove another one. It gets addictive. It's a nice addiction to have. Yeah, and you can save them, and you can weave a little thing out of them. You know, give it as a gift. It's the next time a kid gets baptized, you're like, Here's my dreadlock coat. Hey, hey, hey. Take this thing. Or maybe don't do that, Dan. Don't do that. I don't think that's a good idea. Just buy the kid a pair of socks or something. They're gonna grow out of it anyway, you know. I've forgotten your stream. Hi, Jacob. Baseline, aka Klangattentat. What's the stream about today? Baseline, I couldn't tell you even if I tried. It was supposed to be about some syncing stuff, and I did that. And then we started talking about Asperger, and yeah, I should. Okay, I'm gonna name this stream Sync Asperger and getting rid of my dreads. That's it. I'll do just like any other, vlogger out there and just name it to whatever they're doing inside the video. It's like Seinfeld. It's about nothing. It's about nothing. Hack Attack Beauty Community. Star. By the way, welcome to everyone. You're hitting the end of the stream, but that synth is great, but sometimes I have the feeling it doesn't run good. Gotta roll. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to roll. I mean, thank you, Tom. If you're watching this afterwards, thank you, Tom, for coming. Thank you, everyone who has come today. We've only got like 15 minutes left or 10 minutes left because, as usual, on Wednesdays I have the privilege of having my food cooked for me. And normally I am the one cooking the food, even though my partner, she wants to cook food. I just act like maybe the kitchen is my domain, and I really shouldn't, because if I would let her do that, then I would get to eat her cakes a bit more often, which I love, yeah, but at least we have this little thing now on Wednesday when she does this, and yeah, she always goes and get mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I'm absolutely very fond of mushrooms of many types, and she always does something with that because she knows I love that. So yeah, I'm the same, but my partner hates cooking. Well, Mike, then it's good that you're cooking, right? So what you got cooking today? What are you going to be eating today? What is everyone going to be eating today? Which app do you recommend for patch creation? Phosphor 3, Synclavier Go, Mitosynth, or Continua? That actually is an interesting question. Quite frankly, I've used Phosphor 3, I've used Mitosynth and Continua. I've never used Synclavier, so I can't answer that. But I can answer the other three. All of them are fun to work with, but for patch creation, it's so different depending on the types of sounds we want. But if that's not important, this thing is pretty awesome to work with. Personally, I'm a sucker for the way that they've done the knobs. I mean, these oscilloscope, which they kind of are, they're showing you the waveform, right? It's an animation of a waveform. So, and it's a knob at the same time. I'm trying to touch there. But I'm a sucker for things like this. There's so many modulations, things you can do in here, and the sound is great, and it's super fat, but wow, it's so heavy. It's so heavy to run. So if you only can get one right now, I'd recommend Continua right now. Phosphor 3 is fun, but the sound, it's a very different thing you do there because you're working with additive synthesis. So a lot of the core of the sound you're creating, well, you're doing it in the equalizer. You can almost see it as an equalizer. I mean, it's basically, let's do that. I wonder if it will open now. I don't even know if it will, but Phosphor 3. Okay, it will. So this is Phosphor 3, and so each one of these things is a sine wave. And so the sculpting you're doing is with this. And so if you've ever used an organ, a drawbar organ, well, that's the same technique. That's the same type of synthesis. You have let's say it's a tone wheel organ, so it's got several tone wheels creating their own oscillation, their own frequency of sound, and then you just use drawbars to raise or lower the volume of each of them, and you're doing additive synthesis. That's what you're doing here. And then of course on top of that you have all the other things, but it's a very different synth to work with. It's very fun to make sounds out of it, but I think if you're starting out, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. It's iOS. The apps are cheaper, uh, less expensive. You're gonna end up getting all of them in the end. Start out with Continua. You're speaking my language. I'm a Hammond organ nut. Oh, I love Hammond organs, and I have had the privilege of owning one, uh, a very old one, and I couldn't bring that to Stockholm, so I had to get rid of it. And for many many years, I've I relied, when I was making reggae music, I relied on native instruments. What is it, B3? And for a long time, there weren't any options for me apart from Galileo organ. Galileo organ is really good. And then IK Multimedia came out with their Hammond thing, and it sounds, mwah, it sounds marvelous. So we got some options now. I mean, both Galileo and the B, isn't it BX3, B3X? Oh, now I can't remember what it's called, but we got some nice stuff. Sold my A100 B3X. Yes, B3X. Sold my A100 a couple of years ago. Held on the Leslie. Oh, you even had the Leslie? Oh, the like a real Leslie. When you oh, it's just that I've helped renovate many of those, and the mechanism, and we got this one thing, one model. It was really battered. Okay, it had been battered like nothing. We had to fix it completely, even switch out some of the wood and go get some old wood to get the same wood that was in that box. It had already been fixed several times, with the engine and everything. But it was beautiful afterwards, and I think he even ended up modding it. So was that the time I don't know if that, but there was one of these Leslies. He needed a longer scale for the engine. So you basically have like almost like a train lever, so you can really set, instead of just a little slider, you have like a lever. You can really set the when it spins up and spins down, so you can do some weird stuff with it. Get it up and down. And yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. And the way that things are being memed on the internet right now, that can't be a good thing. Maybe I should cut that out of the video or something. The Leslie is such a coveted thing. I'd love to have a Hammond, but I move everything else out of the studio and I buy one or use an app. Yeah, I get that. But there is a thing sitting down in front of an organ, and it's got built-in speakers. You have built-in speakers. It's not an organ. It's a piece of furniture too. It's a thing. It's wood, metal, and electronics. And then you have the Leslie box. You just fire everything up. You start hearing that sound, that distinctive sound from the hard backlight switches and everything, and just, oh God, love it. You start pulling the drawbars. You can really sculpt everything, and you can do that. I'm a nerd. Where do I go with myself? Good night, Sasha. See you soon. So everyone, Amazon or Bandcamp, where do you earn more if I buy the Mellow album? Bandcamp. Bandcamp. And so far Bandcamp has not done anything awful in the world. Okay? So far. So if it makes it easier for you to buy it through Amazon, then do that. Do that. You don't have to buy it at this specific thing. I mean, it's available on all kinds of streaming services. So you can get it anywhere, right? On Bandcamp, you can That's I think I earn the most if I get it from there, or at least uh, you're also supporting me and supporting a platform that I really like. If like I would, if I could just do it on Bandcamp, just then I probably would. But there's a plus in being available on all platforms, and that's why I've been using DistroKid, because I'm a lazy shit that won't try. I can't deal with all the paperwork. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't want to break out the calculator when I want to do music. I know that I didn't say that first. Someone else did, but it's so true, and that's why I'm using DistroKid, and I'm setting everything up with Bandcamp myself because I want to do that. And even if you buy it on Bandcamp, by the way, you get an extra track. It's a remix of the last track, like the original version. So the actual 10th track on the official album is actually a remixed version. So the original that is an extra track you get with the Bandcamp purchase, and that only happens on Bandcamp. So if you need that, if you want that, then that's another way of doing it. But I can understand if you want to buy it somewhere else because it might be easier for you to listen to. I don't know. Most of the music I listen to is also on Bandcamp. I listen to a lot of music on Bandcamp, on YouTube, stuff like that. I actually don't use Spotify or stuff often. I don't. But I do listen to DIFM, digitally imported, and I listen to the Future Garage channel because I'm still in love with that music. It's not old for me. It will never get old. I listen to it whenever I want to work because it suits my raging brain. Reaching people is so cool. Bandcamp is gay. Spreading the love. Mellow Album rocks. Thank you so much. Bye, Star. Bye, Star, and have a great day, evening, or night, or morning. So that secret Launchpad app, does it change your Drambo workflow? No, it doesn't change my Drambo workflow. It changes my AUM workflow. But that's it. I can't say more. I know I'm a teasing shit. I'm a piece of shit. You can call me a piece of shit. It's okay. I get it. You're angry with me. Just don't say anything, Jacob, if you can't tell me what it is. I get it. But you're gonna find out. And I've talked a lot to the developer about this thing. I mean, it's gonna. Information has already leaked, not from me, because I don't leak stuff. I always ask whenever I put something out or say something. I don't leak stuff. I'm known for not leaking stuff. I want people, developers, not companies, developers, to be able to trust me with whatever they're saying. I don't want to make my own work harder by leaking something. So that's why I don't. So whatever I've told you, I've gotten clear permission to say. I'm still a shitty shit. Mm, I'm still a shitty shit. So it does change my AUM workflow a little bit, and it makes me do stuff a little bit differently, a little bit. It adds something. I could say that. It adds something to my workflow, I think. I'm still. I've just started work on my Drambo video sequencing only with Drambo. And I've also collected enough data now for many other videos that I want to put out during this year. And they're going to be, these are videos that I'm hoping will pinpoint certain things, problems and issues with iOS, certain good things with iOS, benefits with iOS, and also videos where I want to see stuff getting changed, and also videos where you, the viewer, have been part of that data, like the data about you. So as you've seen, I've put out pictures and asked you questions. I've done some polls. I'm gonna do more of that because I'm just planning something. All right. My projects always take a little bit longer and take some time before you see the result, but I think it will be worth it. But I do want to put out some videos that might have that has the opportunity to change something, really. And I like all the discussions that you have been having with each other out there on Audiobus Forum, iPad Musician Group, iOS Audio Units. I'm not gonna say the whole name, okay? But the iPhone group, I've seen it in Sobriety, Synthesizers, Oh, I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, it's been awesome. I also want to thank everyone for all the love I've gotten in the comments on some of my videos now. It's just that I've been overwhelmed with love. And of course, thank you for joining me up today. And now I have to end the stream because it's food time. Vocoder album is coming whenever it's done, and I'm still working on it. And the biggest issue I have now is the lyrics. Music has not been a problem for me. The biggest issue has been lyrics, because I don't want to write this one thing that I just keep repeating. That like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do that. Sometimes you have a really good hook and you can run that hook throughout the whole song, but that's not what I want to do. I want my text and everything I say to do something more than just being a hook that's being looped. So thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for thanks mom for skulking around there in the back. I love you too. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And hopefully by then I won't forget that it's Wednesday, and I'll have a more proper topic, maybe a more streamlined video, or maybe something else, maybe a guest, hopefully a guest or something like that. Yeah, and we'll talk more on Discord or something. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna look for something we can talk on Discord. So stay tuned on my Instagram also. Follow me on Instagram if you're not. You'll find the link to that down there. Down there? Down there in the description, you'll find a link to my Instagram also. And just join up, and I'll put out some more short videos and stuff like that. I'll do that nowadays, from now on, like I've been doing last week and, before. Whenever I don't have time to put up a full video on my main channel, you can keep track on what I'm doing over at Instagram. I'll disclose way more stuff now. So, yeah, I'll try and post a Wii Studio pic to the Discord. Yeah, you do that. Bye bye, everybody. And that was the end of the stream. And now comes the part where I love trolling you and just ending the stream and everything, but I can't because we're past the 2 hour mark and I have to go. So I'm gonna have to end it. So I'm not gonna troll you. I'm sorry for not trolling you. I'm really sorry. I mean, I really wish I could, but I won't. Because it's kind of shitty to troll people, you know? You think it's over, and it's not, because the dude keeps talking. So when do you go? When do you leave the video? It's